6 months ago, I bought an NMAX 155 version 2, 2021 model. I did a video about this bike, just explaining why I chose this bike over similar bikes such as the Honda PCX. Now it's been 6 months and I just wanted to revisit my choice of bike, let you know how I feel about it, having lived with it, driving it every day for 6 months, if I still think it was the right bike to buy, if I would buy it again, if I would change it. So after 6 months, yes, I still like the bike. Things that I like about the bike: it's very good handling. It's a very nice bike to drive. I've had very few problems with it. I don't think I've had any major issues at all with it. I've not even taken it to be serviced yet. In the time that I've had it, I topped up the oil myself. I changed the air filter myself. I'm about to do an oil change because that's due. And I'll do a video about the oil change as well. I don't think most people would probably do an oil change themselves on this kind of bike, but I used to do work on old cars, so I've done oil changes, and I just think it's such an easy thing to do. I may as well do it myself. So day to day, the bike's been great. I've had no problems with it. Lots of power when you need it, especially that VVA, which is variable valve actuation. So when your revs are above a certain amount, I'm not sure what it is, but when you're going above like 60 kilometers an hour, something like that, VVA light comes on, and that means that it just adjusts the valve timing, so you've got more power at the top of the rev range, and that works really well. If you are going at like 70 or 80 kilometers an hour and you want a bit more power to overtake, it does it well. It has the power there, so that's very good. Passenger wise, I'm told that it's very comfortable to sit on the back of this bike. I sat on it once just before I bought it, while I was thinking about buying it, and it seemed fine, but my wife is very happy on the back. She thinks it's very comfortable. One thing about it, which I noticed early on, it's a bit heavy at the front. When you are turning, if you're doing like a full lock, a couple of times when I first had the bike, I almost lost control of it. I wasn't moving at all. I was just trying to turn very slowly, but like full lock. And a couple of times it just sort of nearly started to fall. So it is a bit heavy at the front, and you've just got to be a bit aware of that. One of the reasons I got this bike was because I wanted to try some longer journeys. I could have gone for a smaller bike like a Click, and I wanted something PCX-like because I wanted a bit extra power, something that seemed like it was going to be a bit happier on longer journeys, because I wanted to try doing a bit more exploring, driving a few hours out. So we did that. We did a trip from Phuket to Krabi. It's about, I don't know, 3.5 hours drive there or something. So 3.5 hours each way, probably longer because we stopped as well. And when we were there in Krabi, we drove out to other places. So there was a lot of driving, and the bike was really good. I think it performed very well. One thing I like about this bike, even though it's not a step-through design, it's got the fuel tank in between your legs. We use these quite big rucksacks when we're going away, and it can slot in right in front of me if I'm driving. I can just slot it in on top of the fuel tank, and it doesn't get in the way of the handlebars or the controls, really. I mean, a little bit, but not a lot. But that's really convenient. I've not got the weight on my back. It slots in there really nicely, and it doesn't fall. It's pretty secure. So that's quite cool if you're going on longer journeys. The amount of space under the seat is really good. That's really helpful. I knew it was going to be, but especially when you're going away, you can pack a lot in there, so you don't have to carry so much in bags. So it performed really well on this longer journey, and the whole trip from Phuket to Krabi and back, probably, I think I just used 1 tank of fuel. So it's very fuel efficient, especially on longer journeys. And it feels very stable, feels very safe. You've got enough power to overtake things when you need to. Also, on the way back from Krabi, about an hour in, it started to rain heavy. It was the start of rainy season, and so this was like a real proper monsoon downpour, and it lasted the whole journey back. So we had several hours when it was absolutely torrential rain. We'd brought clothes to wear for that, and I'd had bag covers and things. And the bike itself was really good. I was surprised. I mean, we had 2 people on it. and it was full of our stuff under the seat, and I had another bag on there, so there was a lot of weight on it. The tires are quite fat, big fat tire on the back of this bike, and driving through this very heavy rain and through some flooded sections, not deep flooding, but there was still some flooding. It was really stable. Didn't feel like it lost traction, skidded at all. So that was really good. I know the bike's got traction control. One of the reasons I wanted this bike was because it has a little bit of extra kit than you get as standard on the PCX, on Hondas. It has the ABS, it has the traction control. So I don't know if the traction control was actually playing any part in this or not. I've ridden smaller bikes over much shorter distances in similar kind of really bad rain and flooding situations, and they've skidded around a lot more. I've nearly come off a couple of times driving a Zoomer and driving a Click, and my wife has come off several times off a Scoopy and off a Click. But this, even after that trip, I've never had any problems. I've never felt it skid or lose traction at all. So I do not know if that's to do with the traction control or if it's just the weight of the bike and the fat tires. It's hard to tell because, you would have to be looking at the dash to see if the traction control light came on. I imagine it just comes on for a split second. How would you ever see it? I don't know. I'm never going to be looking at the dash when the traction control light comes on. But either way, it feels very good in wet weather. I've never had any problems. It definitely feels like a big improvement from smaller bikes like the Click or the Zoomer or the Scoopy even. For personal health reasons, I've realized that I can't really do long bike journeys very well. I've got the condition, nothing serious, but it exacerbates this condition. Spending like all day on a motorbike just puts me in a lot of pain afterwards. So I've realized that I can't really do it anymore. I wouldn't risk it again. So to be honest, I don't really need it for that anymore. I wouldn't drive longer than about an hour, which would get us anywhere in Phuket. So this brings me on to why I might not keep the bike. I've said I'm very happy with it, and I am, and I like it. It's got a nice feel. It's got good fuel economy. I've barely done any mechanical work to it at all. I've not even taken it for a service yet, although I will soon. And it's just caused me no trouble whatsoever. I've not spent any money on it apart from topping up the oil and changing the air filter. I'm putting a new battery in, which I may not have needed to do, but I just wanted to do it anyway. I wasn't sure if the battery was in great nick. The biggest problem I have is that my wife won't drive it. Now, when I first got it, she tried it just up and down our little road, just like once, and seemed fine. She's got it into her head that it's a big bike. She didn't want me to have a big bike. I do not think this is a big bike. It's only a little bit bigger than a Click 125, which she was fine with. It is heavier. It's a bigger engine. And I think the main reason she doesn't want to drive it is because she saw me a couple of times struggle with it, with the turning circle and it being a bit heavy at the front. And I almost slipped a couple of times when we were out on it, not moving, just moving really slowly. But I almost lost control of it a couple of times. It hasn't happened recently. I think I've just got used to it. This is now our main vehicle. My wife was renting another bike like I was previously, but she stopped renting it. She didn't need it anymore. But sometimes she needs to go out, of course, on her own, and this is the only bike we have. We're a little bit restricted now because she won't drive it. She wanted me to get a Click 160. I didn't want to get a Click 160, and I got this over the Click 160 because you get a bit more for your money with Yamahas. You get some extra features. It's just a better built bike than the Click 160. The Click 160 is very popular here, very popular in Thailand. They seem to be very good bikes. I know people who've had them and have been very happy with them. But some reviews that I've read suggest they are a bit light. They only have one shock absorber at the back. The NMAX and the PCX both have two shock absorbers. And there's no good reason for it to just have one shock absorber on the Click 160. It's just cost cutting. And I don't like that. And it doesn't have traction control. I think some of them have ABS, not all of them. It's a step through the Click 160, so you can put your shopping in front of you if you want to. It doesn't have anywhere to put your feet forward. On the PCX and on the NMAX, you have places where you can put your feet forward, so if you're going downhill, you can sort of brace yourself. It's a much more comfortable riding position, especially going downhill. On the Click 160, you don't get that, so you just have to have your feet flat on the bed. And when you're going down steep hills, you do tend to fall forward a bit with bikes like that on the normal Click and any kind of step-through design. So it would be smaller, slightly bigger engine, lighter, somewhere to put your shopping, won't be as stable, I don't think, doesn't have the active safety features, and I really don't like the fact that it's just got one shock absorber at the back. I think with the Click 160, they have to not step on the toes of the PCX too much. They have to kind of keep them distinct in distinct categories, so they don't want to make the Click 160 too great, because then people will probably buy that the cheaper option rather than the more expensive PCX. But the NMAX is a PCX competitor, PCX equivalent. So it's just a better built bike. It's a bit heavier. It's got more features. It's got a bigger fuel tank. So I feel like the Click 160 would be a downgrade. I don't want to do that. But also the Click 160 is a bit cheaper. So I could probably sell this and buy a Click 160 and probably have a bit of money left over as well. And then my wife will actually drive the bike. So I may well get rid of it. I'm not sure yet. She doesn't need to drive it. She's thinking about getting another bike anyway. So she might get her own bike and then we're both happy with the ones that we've got. Or I might sell this one and get a Click 160. What do you think? Should I sell it? I still like the bike. If it was just for me, I would keep it. I'm very happy with it. There's one other little thing that I should just point out. There's a little bit of a shudder when it's cold, and we've got a lot of speed bumps on the roads outside our house leading to the main road. So you have to slow right down a lot, very, very steep speed bumps, very high speed bumps. So you have to go really slow. And when you put the throttle on again, the bike shudders a bit. I should get someone to look at that really, but it's not a massive problem. One other annoying thing about this bike, which I knew was annoying from the beginning, is the beeps that it makes with the key fob thing. If you just step like 1 meter away from the bike, let's say I've just started the bike, I've driven out of my gate, and then I just want to go and get off the bike and close the gate. The thing starts beeping all the time. It just beeps all the time, and it's really annoying. It doesn't need to beep that much. So there's a lot of beeping. It really does your head in. And yeah, I wish I could turn that off. That's one thing I don't like about the bike, is the constant beeping when the key fob isn't right next to the bike. I think there should be a bigger range on that, or you should be able to turn the beep off, or it shouldn't beep in every situation. I still think it's a great bike. Yes, I would buy it again if you're going to be sharing the bike with your wife and she's a bit smaller and isn't that happy with a bike that feels bigger to her, even though I don't think it's not a big bike, but to her it seems like a bigger bike and it feels bigger and heavier to her. So it might not be suitable for everybody in that situation. I don't get too attached to these things. If I have to sell it, it's not the end of the world. I've spent 6 months with this bike and enjoyed riding it. I don't think I won't be going on any long trips again on any bike, I don't imagine. So it's only for short journeys really now. So I could change it. I wouldn't really care. Even changing it for a Click 125 wouldn't be the end of the world. It would feel like quite a downgrade, I think. But maybe a Click 160 is a good idea. You won't have as much seat space. I think I would miss the amount of space you have under the seat. And it won't be as comfortable, I don't think. I hate the fact it's got one shock absorber on the Click 160. So that is all for now. I hope that was helpful, and I will see you on the next video. Thanks very much. Bye for now.